Hello, everyone. My name is Alon Sella. I'm the VP of Product in Newphotonics. We are a deep tech company. Oh, yeah. We're a deep tech company, a fabless photonic chip design startup, and we're aiming to solve some of the most pressing problems of the networking and the datacom industry. You probably know that even a single Google search takes quite a nice amount of power, 100 watt, like a household light bulb. But if you look at an AI search, and it took me 4 seconds to get to AI, but still this is important. An AI search, an AI session takes a significantly much more power. And this is one of the biggest challenges of data centers today, the amount of power. It's not necessarily the amount of compute, because that can be duplicated and tripled. But the amount of power that these data centers take is a significant challenge. Just to give you an idea, in each data center, there are many racks like this. This is the NVIDIA NVL72. One rack like this takes 120 kilowatts of power. This is my household in a typical summer day with all air conditioning working is about 40 kilowatts for the entire day. This is 120 every second. So you can multiply that by hundreds and thousands of units like this in a data center, and you can imagine the amount of problem they're facing. The datacom industry is split into different categories and reaches. You can see here the different standards depending on the reach, from 100 meters to 100 kilometers and beyond. Our company is focusing on the biggest growing segments, from 500 to close to 40 kilometers of reach, both within the data center interconnect and between data centers. Over the years, the compute demand was growing exponentially. This is a logarithmic scale, so you can see that in the last 20 years, the compute have grown in 3 orders of magnitude, but at the same time, the data communication and the memory communication have grown in a less rate, 1.5x over the last 20 years, and this is starting to create a gap. This gap can only be bridged with more communication ports, because each port can only work in a certain speed, so you have to multiply the number of ports. And this leads to a much higher rate of sales into this networking business. You can see here, it's hard to see, but the next 2 technology generations, the 800 and the 1.6 tera that are coming in the next couple of years, are going to be a significant growth. So Newphotonics is supposed to position that. We already have a product in-house and is sampling to customers. We have a nice backlog, and this product is part of a family. It won the ECOC Industry Award here in Frankfurt last year. So it's in-house and selling. We have a couple of innovative technologies that are patented, and optical signal processing, NIOX, which is non-invasive monitoring, control, and calibration, and solving the integration of laser into the same silicon wafer. Here you can see what is actually the problem. The top line is a transceiver, how it is built. One of the main components is a digital signal processing, DSP, and the trend is to try to remove it. There are several companies that are trying to do that, but at the end, the current solutions are not interoperable with each other. Newphotonics is able to move the signal processing to the optical domain, but stay interoperable, so we're both saving the 60% of the power and 50% of the cost, and staying interoperable with the rest of the industry. This is what the product we have today, but in our portfolio we have a lot of more interesting technologies, moving to CPO technology, which is a co-package optics, 3D integration of optics and electronics together, and later on going to the holy grail of optical fabric switching, and eventually even doing computing at the optical domain. We are overall well-funded, but we'll need some funds for the next, for the ramp-up. You can see the company situation, a good patent portfolio and tape out, and company is doing very well. This is the management team, and I'd like to thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alon. If you could please tell us a bit about the production process. Where can it be produced? How is it produced? Will you do it yourself?
Sure. We are fabless. Like in the semiconductor, we design the chip. We don't manufacture them. We own the full product, but we use foundries. Like in the semiconductor TSMC, there are similar things in the optical domain. TSMC is one of them, Global Foundries, Intel, and Tower. So we use all of them for production.
Thank you very much. Guy, bevakasha.
Ovid? Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I want you to imagine a world where you pick up a part that looks and feels like metal, but weighs just half the weight. And what if these parts could actually be used in everything that drives, moves, flies, and thus save a lot of energy, be more sustainable, and more green for our future? So, hi, I'm Guy from Polymertal. Today I'll explain exactly what we do and how we do it. So, our solution is answering a specific challenge in which we see today that companies have a very hard time developing and manufacturing new products that meet the complex requirements of the industry. Germany is a very industrial country, and we all know about that. So we take the worlds of polymers and metals and combine them together into one magnificent part that enables a lighter weight solution, which is taking into account all the advantages of polymers. It can do vibration and shock damping, heat insulation, and also assembly integration if we're using additive manufacturing. From the metal world, we take the electrical and thermal conductivity of the metal, which cannot be accessed through traditional composites if you want to replace metals. And also prevention of moisture penetration and higher strength given by the metal parts. And all these together provide these types of parts, which are lightweight, more sustainable, and can really replace and become an alternative for metallic components in everyday systems that we know. Okay, why is it going back? Okay. So the value proposition is that first and foremost, we're able to reduce the weight by about 60% versus traditional, even lightweight metals, such as aluminum. We're doing all the metallic features of aluminum, meaning it's conductive, electrically conductive, thermally conductive. It can be an EMI shielding case for everyday power electronics. It's also more sustainable. So eventually we're able to showcase that we're saving about 50% of the carbon footprint versus the traditional metallic parts because we're using bio-based, carbon-free materials, but also the entire production process is a very low energy production process, meaning that we're not utilizing as much energy as needed to manufacture metals. In addition to that, we're able to utilize advanced technologies in Industry 4.0 like 3D printing to be able to do a very fast time reduction and design freedom for complex geometries. And also, we're able to save costs significantly, mainly due to the materials and processing of the parts that we're doing. The applications are very vast, so it's very hard to really find what is the killer applications, but what we've seen is that power electronics today, which are stored in EMI shielding cases, are the #1 product that we're selling today, both in Israel and around the world. So they're more sustainable, lighter weight, and provide a cost reduction opportunity for big companies. We're doing that with various sectors, specifically automotive, aerospace defense, and semiconductors industry. So you can see some of the names, again, just a fraction of them. So we're working here, for example, Schaeffler, Continental, ASML's big manufacturing company for the semiconductors, also Thales Alenia, Porsche, and many others. You can see, for example, we do waveguides for 5G and antennas, and also some types of oil tanks. You can, of course, come and see. I've brought some samples in the other hall if you'd like to see and feel, which is the #1 selling product for us. Just to give you an understanding of what it means to do a sustainability impact with our products. So first and foremost, you can see we're reducing the carbon footprint, but out to 60%. On average, we say about 50% versus traditional aluminums. And also, if we're looking at weight reduction, also a significant weight reduction of between 50 to 60% of weight reduction. If we're looking at automotive market, which could be very big numbers, the numbers add up and become very, very big, and are able to save significantly both weight and carbon footprint of everything that moves, drives, flies. This is the management team. You can see everyone's coming from different backgrounds, from the CEO, Baily, and we also have part of our investors here, Dive Digital, which will be speaking up shortly. We have experience from material engineering, from chemical engineering, also mechanical engineering. So we put together all of these because we understand it's not just the technology. It's the product, it's the need, and what we're able to make out of this technology that can really change the world. Because otherwise, it's just a nice technology that no one's going to buy. So what we're looking for, currently we're doing an investment round, Series A, about $8 to $10 million US, mainly for expanding both capacity and sales and marketing activities. Outside of Israel, we're already selling around $4 million of revenue a year. So we're looking to expand that, of course, outside of Israel, which costs more, being located in Israel. And looking for also investments and collaboration with strategic companies in our domain. As I said, automotive, aerospace, defense, these are the big ones. Semiconductors, we have already serial production projects outside of Israel. So we're looking at that growing very nicely. Up to date, we've just finalized about $7.5 million from dilutive funding, but we have also a lot of non-dilutive funding coming from Israel Innovation Authority, Horizon Europe, which really believe in the technology and what it can do and change the world. So thank you, and you're more than welcome to come and see some of our products. They're at the booth at the other hall, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Guy. Quick question. One question, you have a follow-up question. Yeah. When we look, for example, at a car, how much of the components of the car can you replace with your materials?
So there are a lot of product groups in the car that we're able to change. Of course, we're not doing all the structural heavy-duty parts, which are pretty much the very heavy ones. But there are a lot of parts, even in very, let's say, tight areas. And for example, as I've showcased, EMI shielding cases, our electronic vehicles are becoming with more and more electronics inside, meaning they need more of these cases in different areas. We do battery enclosures for EVs, which protect against flames, right? We all seen the Teslas around on the side of the road, and that happens, but somehow that needs to be protected. So we're also doing some of these components. I don't have a fixed number because it's really dependent on the car and the amount of parts that are in it, but it could be up to 10%, I think, of the car's weight can be reduced by using our parts.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Tal, bevakasha.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Tal Pechter. I'm from Frisimos. I'm going to speak about cables. Cables are everywhere. We are surrounded by cables. Look around you, you see tons of cables, but here is a crazy fact. Most of the cables that you know are manufactured or assembled by hands. It's a huge market, $200 billion a year. If you don't believe me, look at your bag. We are full with USB-C, fiber optics. If you go a little bit around HDMI, everything is cables. And this is the backbone of everything. And everybody that spoke before of me, ahead of me, they spoke about cables in different way. Okay, data centers, AI, what is AI? From my point of view, cables, many cables, more cables. You speak about your phones, everybody watch your phones, and what happened? Behind every successful Wi-Fi, cables. So cables are everywhere. You are going to see what the data that we are sending. You are plugging your phone to a USB-C cables. Where did you bought it? Okay, so cables are everywhere. They are very, very tough to build because this is the best of technologies that we have today. 2 billion years, sorry, 50 million years of evolution in order to get those production lines. We replace it because the problem with human labor, that nobody wants to assemble cables. If nobody wants to pick orange, let's say to assemble cables, you need skills. You cannot have a colorblind people, most of the men, you need a very, very sophisticated machines that will put everything on place. If something is not in place, it's not works. So cables are important. They are the engine of the economy. And the quality of them, when you do it manually, it's not as good as you can imagine. Increasing cost, everybody wants to be paid more, so it's very hard to find worker. The supply chain. So you can learn everything about cables and economy. And this is the machine. We didn't brought it here, of course, but if you want to see videos and comparison to humans, you are mostly invited to meet me later on. Another thing that I need to say, we have a lot of patents. The European Union invested on us. They thought that this is critical. I want to say something about Israel and Germany. We have a daughter company here, actually located in Frankfurt. We are working with all the sleepy giant, and we are working with from Phoenix Contact to Moore to all the rest. There is some global phenomena that we see here. Everybody wants to return back the production here, because everybody understands that if you let your assets, that knowledge of how to make something, you are bringing more competition. And therefore, keeping the production, push the limit of the technology. I will say what is pushing the limit of technology. Today, in USB 2 that you remember, there was only 4 wires. You go to the USB-C, you want to have a nice data streaming, it's 16 wires going to these small connectors. It's not for humans to assemble it. In Germany, what we feel here in this country, tons of opportunities. Many companies are assemble it. Many companies, big companies, are looking how to bring it back from foreign places where it's a labor-intensive industry. They are looking for ways to automate it. And I need to say something about the economy of cables, okay? If you take a simple cable without the connectors, it costs something like less than €1. You put connectors that cost, I don't know, a few cents, you can get a product that costs 5 to 10 euros. So the most important part in cables is the assembly. And therefore, automate it, do it right. This is exactly what the industry looks for. There is a lot, I don't know if it's part of the agenda, but I have 55 seconds. There is a lot of ways collaboration between Mittelstand, families, companies, and Israeli startups. A lot of background that we are sharing, therefore we are finding this market very attractive. I need to say something about, we are looking to raise funds. We got last week a program with the Israeli Innovation Authorities of 10 million euros to go also to fiber cables, and we are really look for partners here, investors or other people that can help us to grow.
Tal, thank you very much. Very interesting. Just tell us a bit more about the product. You provide the service, the hardware. What is your product?
Yes. So I need to say 2 things about the product and the business model. We are building a modular lines. This gives us the flexibility to serve many aspects of the market and also reduce our risk and cost when we come to a project. Average project is around 1 to 2 million euros. We're selling as an equipment in sometimes, but the next step of us is go to production as a service. Production as a service, instead of paying people salary, pay the robot salary. Okay, this is the model, and this is where we go.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Justas, please.
Hi, so I'm Justas Janciauskas, and I will present the company which is called AILight. We are the platform that helps to detect, verify, and protect digital content. We are fighting misinformation worldwide. We have a very strong founding team with the founders that have around 10 plus years experience that have a 10 plus years experience in computer vision and the AI field. And the world is flooded with misinformation. We actually started our company when during the Gaza conflict, when one of the news channel contacted us and asked us to help them to verify multiple media that was circling around. And we did that. And the project was quite successful, and we started to build a platform for others. We basically see that fake media is spreading around the world just in a second, and it can be very quickly amplified with media channels picking that content and sharing it with others. We also see that brands and content creators are struggling to protect their own content due to wide social media impact. And World Economic Forum says that around $78 billion is lost every year fighting misinformation. And Gartner predicts that around $500 billion will be spent for misinformation prevention by 2028. So this is a huge opportunity for this market. So our solution helps to secure, monitor, validate, and protect any kind of media, text, or audio input. We are basically targeting a few type of users. We have anyone that wants to verify their own image or the content that they see. We're also targeting journalists, brands, and media outlets. And a few key features of our platform. So first of all, we can identify if the content was generated with AI. We can even tell the source, the tool that was used to do that. We also have a similar content feed, so customers can see where the same or similar content was published before, and they can backtrack the source of the content. We also help in this way for the brands and content creators to track their own content. And then we have advanced forensic tools that helps to identify the media that might be manipulated in the regular way. Like, for example, it might be photoshopped, or the facts in the article might not be true. So we have a few pricing points, and we are targeting from small to large customers. Our basic plan starts from $4.90. Our acquisition cost per lead is around $0.4 at the moment. With conversion rate, I think right now we have already 14%. With conversion from freemium to paid user, which is around 5%. We're expecting to have around $120 LTV per small customer. We're also aiming to target larger customers, but this is just the beginning. We basically started our acquisition campaign just right now, it's 45 days ago, and we already have more than 6,000 users that are registered on the platform and are using it on daily basis. Can skip that. Looking from the competition side, we are the only one platform that can verify and work with any kind of input, and we provide the results in the real time. Right now, we are raising $3 million with expected runway for 18 months, and we are expecting to reach the break-even point at the month 16. So thank you, and if you will have any questions, let's talk later.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I have one question. Can you share with us the UI? What is the user interface? I mean, how do you communicate with this product?
So we have online platform. All you need to do is to register an account, and you can upload the content from your computer, or you can just paste the link. We will extract information, and you will have like a robust system where you can see how and where that content was used and if it was manipulated or not.
Mobile as well?
Mobile as well, and also we have WhatsApp integration. So if you want to quickly verify content, you can just save our phone number, send the image, video, or any kind of content to WhatsApp, and you will get instant results.
Fantastic. Teddy, bevakasha, last presentation in this session. Once Teddy finishes, please stay on stage for a second.
Hi, my name is Teddy Golan. I'm the CEO of SolChip. Thank you for this opportunity. The world is undergoing a digital transition era. Basically, trillions of devices that are not connected to the cloud are in the process of being connected. The industry is called in the Internet of Things. The main limitation for mass deployment of such solutions is the availability of power and communication. The mere fact is that you don't have an electricity socket nearby each device, and then the typical solution would be using batteries. Batteries are drained, and the mere fact you need to replace large volumes of batteries is a key problem in mass deployment of IoT devices. This is where we come in. Our technology is around, first of all, harvesting light. And I'm talking about small panels, 1 centimeter to 1 centimeter in size, that can work in very challenging light conditions. We don't need direct sunlight. We can work with artificial light. We can work in the shade. We can even work with changing light conditions. This is on the one end. On the other end, we are able to manage standard batteries in such a way that they do not drain. And the typical problem would be that when you require power, large power peaks from a battery, it will completely drain. We have electricity around basically managing the distribution of power from standard batteries. The applicability of an everlasting battery solution is huge. Basically, there are hundreds of thousands of use cases of IoT support. I'm presenting here a major solution that we are now introducing to the market, and this is basically digitalizing the operation of hot water radiators. There are over 1 billion radiators in the world. They are all manually controlled. The typical use case would be that the valve is open at the start of the season, it's closed at the end of the season. The radiator would work 24/7 for months, and when it gets too hot, one would open a window. There are huge energy losses in this industry. The market, the industry figures call for like 40 euros of energy loss from each radiator in each season. We basically digitalize this operation with an install and forget device. So we solve the issue of large-scale device implementation. These devices do not need battery replacement, so property holders that have portfolios of thousands and hundreds of thousands of units are basically looking for such kind of a solution. From the user point of view, we are turning the operation of a radiator like an AC unit. You set the temperature you want in the room, and we optimize the radiator operation in order to meet this temperature in the most energy economic way. And in doing so, this is a typical digitalization solution we optimize, and we optimize on a large-scale basis. We not only optimize, we also build a database of the inbuilt environment. Nowadays, it's commonly known that urban environment is the major consumer of wasted energy, and within it, heating energy is the biggest consumer. So we basically tap into one of the biggest energy optimization requirements nowadays, and this has a huge impact on climate issues. The numbers we show are that we are able to save around 35% of the energy used in each radiator in each winter season. This comes, as I was saying, together with building a database of the inbuilt environment, which, as I was saying, is a huge digital asset that is being accumulated. The optimization is run through machine learning. Each room has different characteristics. It's being used differently. There are different numbers of radiators within each room, so you need to adapt on a specific way for each radiator, and this is done through AI. Last but not least, we also create real estate value. Stranded assets are basically assets that, because of their energy rating, cannot be invested into. Installing our system basically jumps the energy rating by 2 to 3 notches and takes them out of this stranded asset category. Our strategic partner in developing this solution is Varon. This is a major German and European real estate player. We developed the solution through 2 consecutive winters of testing in Varon's properties. Following this development, Varon has already ordered from us hundreds of thousands of units and is now negotiating a much bigger scale transaction. The business model calls for selling the hardware and managing it on a long-term SaaS base. And the business strategy basically calls for engaging portfolio holders. So through a small number of players, of real estate players, we tap into a huge volume of mass distribution of units and recurring SaaS revenues. Thank you.
Teddy, thank you very much. A quick question before Dov would like to say a few words. First of all, is your customer only property, real estate, or can you see it developing into other fields? And the second question is the cost of the chip and the ROI on each chip.
Okay. So as I was saying, the applicability is enormous. There are hundreds of thousands of use cases. We are starting with the low-hanging fruit, basically. This is we have a product market fit into a huge market. We have, through our shareholders, a very good market access into European markets. So for us, this was an educated choice to go there, but we are certainly looking at other categories.
What is the next category you're looking at?
We have defense applications, we have smart applications, we have logistic applications. It's a never-ending, basically. So for us, the challenge is scaling up quickly. This is why we have an open round of financing the quick scale-up. In terms of the ROI, we are not selling the chip. We are selling system. We are selling a solution. We sell the hardware in such a case that the ROI for the client is less than 1 winter period, and then we enjoy long-lasting, very profitable SaaS earnings. Thank you.
Please stay on stage. Dov wanted to say a few words to you.
I would like to add something that relates to these guys and to investments. We are going through a revolution. It's an AI revolution, you know it. Probably the largest revolution in my life, and probably clearly the largest revolution in your life. My life is longer. So revolution, as any revolution, has a lot of opportunities and on the other side, many challenges and many issues that would come with that. And one of the things is the high-tech. The way you are seeing today is going to be very different. Writing a code, guys, if your children, or if you are studying now, programming, that's a mistake. You may find yourself practically having to convert and look for something else because every job, or many jobs, will be changed or eliminated. One thing will not disappear, and that's deep tech. What these guys are doing, whether this is energy or materials or semiconductors, sorry for skipping you, but you're another issue, or other stuff that was presented here in this conference, these are things that will not disappear. As investors, you should look for investing in things that are relating to deep tech, because deep tech, it's the core. That's the core of technology. These are the things that AI would always need in order to be used. And therefore, my recommendation, look at companies like that. I think that these are going to be great investments. Thank you.